welcome to the channel. I'm about to break down this 13-game MLB DFS slate on DraftKings and FanDuel. A large slate to get into on this Friday. Excited to get into it. Before we do, a quick reminder, stay tuned to the end of the video for my home run call of the day. And I do offer a premium package, just link below in the description. Things have got a little bit crazy with the schedule this week, so the last couple days haven't been able to put up that MLB content, but we're back, excited to be going here. And let's go ahead and start breaking down this slate today. If you do enjoy the content, please take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. And with that being said, let's break down this slate, get you guys in the green, get you winning some money tonight. And I like to do that by sorting my sheet by K rate. It's fantasy sports. We get points for strikeouts. And the top guy on the slate today is going to be Carlos Rodon, taking on the Boston Red Sox. Comes in with a 34.7% K overall with a 15.3 swinging strike rate. 35.4% K rate to righties and a 32% K rate against lefties. Has been very good on the season. Day-to-day status as far as what that is concerning, it's his shoulder. He's expected to rejoin the rotation Friday. And he was sidelined since September 1st. So as far as how that goes, I don't think it's going to be a big issue. He just missed one turn through the rotation. I'd expect that he's going to be a full go. And if anything, maybe a little bit limited. I will say, though, the matchup is not ideal taking on this Boston Red Sox team. So while the numbers do look great on paper, you know, it's not exactly the best matchup. And for that reason, we may want to be looking elsewhere for our starting pitching today. And I think the first guy we can be looking to is Robbie Ray taking on the Baltimore Orioles. He comes in with a 32.3% K overall with a 15.5 swinging strike rate. That's top on the slate. A 32.3% K rate to righties and a 32.2% K rate to lefties. Very good K stuff across the board. And the Baltimore Orioles are obviously a team that we've been looking to target a lot lately. They've been striking out a bunch. They do not scare us. It's in Baltimore, which is a good hitting ballpark. That's about the only downside, but he's 11-2 on FanDuel over on DraftKings. They have him priced at 10-7. He's the top price guy on the slate, and I think for good reason. The pitch count's there. The strikeout upside's there. If you look at his recent outings, they've been very, very good. He's been double-digit strikeouts in each of his last 4 games, 11, 14, 10, 10. One of those games in which was against this same Baltimore team. 10 strikeouts over 7 innings pitched, 97 pitches, got the job done fairly and efficiently. So I think that Robbie Ray is going to be our top option on the slate today. He's been absolutely dominating, and he gets another great matchup. We have Glenn Otto taking on the Oakland Athletics. He only has a 9 innings pitch sample size, but he has been really good so far with a 37.5% K rate to righties, only a 16.7% K rate to lefties, but the hard contact stuff's been very effective. And while it is a limited sample size, I mean, he gets to go into Oakland, which is a big upgrade for him as far as pitcher's ballpark. He's 7-9 on FanDuel over on DraftKings. They have him priced all the way down to 6-3, so it's a much friendlier price tag over here on DraftKings. You're looking at his first 2 performances. He's been able to go 5 and 4.2 innings pitched, 73 and then 84 pitches. So I think that hopefully he continues to climb that number as far as his pitch count's concerned. While I do think he's going to be better, I definitely have a lot more interest in him over on DraftKings than FanDuel. FanDuel, that's a little too priced up for my liking, I think. So I'll say that much. Tanner Houck taking on the Chicago White Sox, 30.1% K overall, 35.2% K rate to righties, and a 24.8% K rate to lefties. So we do prefer to target him against very right-handed heavy teams, if at all possible, due to that big K bump that he displays against those righties. When you're looking at the matchup today, taking on the Chicago White Sox, you can see they do have quite a few righties in there, but they are becoming very, very blended, especially in a matchup like this. I tend to think they're going to load up on their lefties, and it does appear that way with their anticipated lineup. And Tanner Houck really starting to see his price tag climb. He's 8-9 on FanDuel over on DraftKings. They have him priced at 8-8. So definitely starting to get a lot more respect from these sites. Last time out, he only pitched 68 pitches over 5 innings pitch against Cleveland. And I'm not exactly sure why he got pulled. Let's see. I feel like there was like a rain delay or something. I mean, that's a weird. I don't know, but he was up to 90 pitches his last 2 times prior to that, and then not on. He just dropped down to 68, 7 innings pitch over 5 innings pitch. I guess maybe they're just doing it based on innings. They went to the bullpen to ensure. I mean, when you look at the final score in that game, it was 4-3. I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing something. If you know something that I don't in the comments, let me know. But His numbers do look very good on paper. I do think he's going to be viable. Whether or not he's your top option, I mean, we have Ohtani taking on Houston. I'm really not looking to go there. Houston just doesn't strike out. It's not a team that I prefer to target. Bailey Falter taking on the Colorado Rockies. As far as this game's concerned, this game's expected to be played in Philadelphia, and Falter has had some really good numbers on paper. He's 5.7 on FanDuel over on DraftKings. He's priced at 5K, but you got to keep in mind he's a relief pitcher, so the pitches are just like right around like 20 pitches. So he's probably just going to be an opener in this one. He's really not going to go long, and it's probably just going to be a bullpen game. So while his numbers look great, you can't really be playing him. Tyler Mahle taking on the St. Louis Cardinals, probably the next guy you're looking to, with a 28.2% K overall, a 24.3% K rate to righties, and a 32.6% K rate to lefties. I would say the only thing is he has been a little bit reverse splitsy. The righties have definitely been getting to him a little bit more than the lefties. And the Cardinals definitely do have a pretty right-handed heavy lineup. So I'm not really liking that. But overall, the K rate's been solid for Mahle. He's 9.9 on FanDuel. On DraftKings, they have him priced at 9.9 as well. And when you're looking at his most recent performances, he's gotten 8, 6, and 8 Ks with 104, 104, and 106 pitches. So the length has been very long. The results have been good. The matches have been pretty good as well, though, I will say, against Miami and Detroit the last 2 times out. I mean, you can't ask for a much better matchup, so you could make an argument that the only reason he's looked that good is the matchups. If you want to say that, I wouldn't call you crazy if that's what you believe, but I still think that he's got good stuff overall. We have a long reliever situation going on as far as taking on Detroit for the Tampa Bay Rays. So I'm not really sure that you could play either of these guys, unfortunately. Waka's expected to open, and then they'll go to Archer on the latter half. As far as Waka's pitch count and everything, you can see he's been right around like mid-80s up to 90 pitches. So, I mean, I don't really know what this implies as far as our Rays manager, Kevin Cash, said Chris Archer would likely piggyback Waka during the game. And, I mean, Waka's pitch count's been way up. He's been pitching very well. 9, 6, and 7 Ks. 5 innings pitched, 4.1, 6 innings pitched. And you can't ask for a much better matchup than taking on Detroit. So, it's a little bit scary on FanDuel. He's 8.5 over on DraftKings. They have him priced at 8.1, and I think he's definitely a great play if we know the pitch count's going to be there. And I tend to think it is. I don't really think that Archer, maybe that's just to save some arms in the bullpen. I don't really think that's all that relevant for us. Definitely keep an eye on the news throughout the day. And then as far as pitching is concerned, that's when things kind of drop off the table a little bit. We have Ian Anderson taking on Miami. He's definitely a guy that I'll be looking to because I'm going to continue to target Miami. And then we have Framber Valdez taking on the Angels second, who's another guy that I will be continuing to target. And Ian Anderson, 22.2% K overall with a 22.1% K rate to righties and a 22.3% K rate to lefties. When you're looking at his price tag across the industry, he's 7.8 on FanDuel over on DraftKings. They have him priced at 6.6. I think that's a very friendly price tag on Ian Anderson today. You know, the last time he didn't really go that deep in the ball game. It was in Colorado, though, so I think we can kind of give him a free pass on that one. A few times prior, up to 4Ks a couple times. Pitch count's been there when he's been effective, and I think you can't really ask for a much better matchup than this taking on Miami, so I think that you can definitely take the price discount there and feel pretty confident about it. And then Framber Valdez taking on the Los Angeles Angels is a team that I just continue to target. They've been striking out a ton. Valdez's ground ball, fly ball stuff is absurdly good. Has been very effective. His strikeout rate hasn't been very high against righties, but against lefties it has been. And overall, I mean, you're just not worried about him going blown up. You're not worried about him getting blown up, and really the only question is whether he's going to get to do strikeouts. And in this matchup, he should definitely do it. So I have a lot of interest in Valdez. He's been right around 90 to 95 pitches or so a game. 6, 7, and 4 Ks his last 3 times out. And I don't think you can ask for a much better spot. So I definitely have interest in him. And that would be my overall interest as far as pitching is concerned for the most part. Let's go ahead and transition over to bat. As always, I like to go ahead and sort my sheet by Sierra, skill, interactive ERA. It's a good way of determining how good a pitcher's been so far in the season and how good they're expected to be in the future. And the worst on the slate today is going to be John Lester taking on the Cincinnati Reds, giving up a 5.25 slugging to righties with a 3.86 WOBA. Against lefties, he has been very effective. It's really the righties that are getting to him, so we really want to target the power righties for Cincinnati. Only problem is it's in St. Louis, not the best hitting environment in baseball, but his Reds definitely have some bats. in their lineup that are right-handed and can slug lefties. So we have Jonathan India, Tyler Stevenson, Nick Castellanos, Eugenio Suarez, Kyle Farmer, Aristides Aquino, Delano Shields, all of which I will have interest in. My top options would be Stevenson and Castellanos. India. All those righties I actually really do like. De Shields would be the last option that I'm looking to based on power numbers and how he fares against lefties. But I definitely think you can use him to round out your stacks. And I definitely think you can stack up the Reds today. As mentioned, not the best hitting environment. I think there's going to be some others you can go to that would be a little bit better. Daniel Lynch taking on the Minnesota Twins. Ground ball, fly ball stuff's terrible. He has a walk issue. The bases are always going to be loaded with traffic when he's pitching, and it's really an issue against right-handed hitting with a 492 slugging given up. Ground ball, fly ball stuff's terrible. A 379 WOBA. Once again, very effective against lefties. Another left-handed hurler that we really want to target with right-handed power. So the Twins righties are definitely going to be in play for me with guys like Byron Buxton, Jorge Polanco, Robert Refsnyder, Josh Donaldson, Miguel Sano, Brent Rooker, Ryan Jeffers, Astudillo, and Simmons. My least favorite would be Anderson Simmons in the 9th spot by far, just based on power and stuff. Everyone else has some pretty good power, speed, or at least something to offer in this lineup. And then the Kansas City Royals bullpen is not good. So I definitely like that spot for the Kansas City Royals. And in the same game, we have Griffin Jacks taking on the Kansas City Royals with a 41.4% hard contact rate and a 5.67 slugging given to righties, as well as a 5.16 slugging given up to lefties. His numbers on paper have not been good. You're looking at his most recent performances. He has given up 9, 6, and 4 earned runs. And I think that you can definitely be targeting the Royals today for that reason. The Twins bullpen's also terrible. So this is a game where there could be a lot of runs. Whit Merrifield, Nicky Lopez, Salvador Perez, Benintendi, Carlos Santana, Adalberto Mondesi, Ryan O'Hearn, Michael Taylor, Edward Olivares. I think you can play every single one of those guys as well. Both guys that you really like to target as far as the pitching is concerned. Marco Gonzalez taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hard contact really hasn't been the worst, even though he's still giving up a 546 slugging to righties with a 371 WOBA. Unfortunately, the Arizona Diamondbacks don't exactly have the best lineup for us to be able to capitalize on that. It's in Seattle as well, which is not the best hitting environment. If I'm going to go to this stack, I definitely like Nick Ahmed the best at the top as far as a cheap salary relief option. Then you got Ketel Marte, Carson Kelly mashes lefties, Andy Young a bunch of power, Drew Ellis a bunch of power, but there's probably going to be a lot of strikeouts in those bats as well. So not my top options, to be honest. If you want to go there, sure. But Paul Blackburn taking on Texas. Texas just does not have a good lineup. I think it'd be kind of crazy to be stacking up Texas in Oakland tonight. Not a good hitting environment, not a good lineup. Chris Ellis taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. He's part of the Baltimore Orioles pitching staff, so that always usually gets us excited. However, he's only given up a 324 slugging to righties, a 273 slugging to lefties. Has not really been the worst. I will say if there was ever a spot where I would expect him to get blown up, this would probably be the one, because this Toronto Blue Jays lineup is just that good. The Baltimore Orioles bullpen is not good. And I'd expect that when these Vegas lines drop, the Blue Jays have a pretty sizable run total. And if that's the case, I'll definitely be interested in targeting them. George Springer, Marcus Semien, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, Teoscar Hernandez, Corey Dickerson, Lourdes Gurriel, Jake Lamb, Danny Jansen. As a matter of fact, if their run total doesn't look too good, it might be a great low-on spot. So, if they're on the road, the Baltimore Orioles pitching staff usually tends to always help us out. So I definitely have interest in targeting them. Adrian Hauser taking on Cleveland. The slugging really hasn't been bad to either side, and Cleveland's not good. I'm not interested in that. Madison Bumgarner, you can make a case for the power righties against him for Seattle. I'm not getting all too excited. If you wanted me to name a couple names for you, it's really going to be the two catchers that rake lefties in Luis Torrens and Tom Murphy at the bottom of the order. And then you got Ty France, Mitch Haniger. Mitch Haniger in the 2 spot would be a great one. And Kyle Seager, lefty on lefties, very good against lefties. And then Dylan Moore in the 9th spot is more so good against lefties than righties. Does have some power. A lot of strikeouts in that bat as well. But Matthew Boyd taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. You can really target him with power righties. The Tampa Bay Rays lineup is looking better than ever against left-handed pitching, so I will continue to target them for sure. And as far as their implied run total, they have a 5.43 implied run total. The Tigers' bullpen's terrible. They're on the road. Manuel Margot, Wander Franco, Nelson Cruz, obviously a great play against lefties. Yandy Diaz, Jordan Luplow matches lefties. Mike Zunino matches lefties. So you can definitely be looking to the Rays stack today. The New York Yankees in New York, as far as Citi Field's concerned, does look like there's 17-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to right field in this one. And also, they're taking on Tyler Megill, who really struggles against left-handed power. So this is a spot that could really stand out if it is indeed him. I also was seeing that it might have been Taijuan Walker, though, on the DraftKings tab. And as I always say, DraftKings has been very on point with their projected pitchers, so they're always the ones that I look to first. And so Megill really bad against lefties. If that's the case, going to love all the lefties. And Taijuan Walker is more so the other way, where he's been struggling more so against righties. Either way, with the wind blowing out and the power of this offense, I definitely think you can have interest in the Yankees. Brett Gardner, Aaron Judge, Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu, Gary Sanchez, Rougned Odor, Gleyber Torres. Interest in all of them for sure. And I'll definitely have interest in some of the Mets bats as well. Not nearly as much, I feel like, with Montgomery on the bump. I just think he's been a little bit better, but I definitely think he could still be playing some right-handed power against him. And the Mets do have a couple guys, most notably in Pete Alonso and Javi Baez in the center of the order that really rake lefties, so maybe going to them, but not too excited there. And then once we get down past them, things aren't all that interesting. We mentioned Tyler Mahle's hard contact giving up to those righties, but overall I'd say that's a pretty good overall breakdown of the bats that I'd really be focusing in on tonight. As far as any other Vegas totals or anything that really stand out to me, not seeing anything else. I mean, you can make an argument for the A's against Glenn Otto. It's just not the best hitting environment. And that would be kind of the reason why I wasn't getting too excited about that. Eli Morgan taking on the Milwaukee Brewers, probably another one that I have to mention. The Brewers, before I get you guys my home run call, because Eli Morgan really hasn't been the greatest in the world at all, actually. So I'm glad I caught that with a .513 slugging given to righties and a .490 slugging given to lefties. And terrible ground ball, fly ball stuff. So yeah, he's actually been very bad. And the Milwaukee Brewers are on the road. It's 68 degrees, not the best hitting environment, but tons of power up and down this lineup. I think you can definitely be targeting the Brewers for sure. Colton Wong, Eduardo Escobar, Christian Yelich, Avisail Garcia, Omar Narvaez, Daniel Vogelbach, Ratty Teller's bunch of power. Morgan's strikeout rate is decently respectable at 25% against righties, 21.4% carried to lefties, but as mentioned, ground ball, fly ball stuff terrible to both sides, slugging terrible to both sides, and that's a recipe for success in MLB DFS. So with that being said, before I let you guys go, I got to give you my home run call of the day. Let's get into it. And my home run call of the day today is going to be Daniel Vogelbach taking on Eli Morgan. We mentioned his hard contact issues and fly ball issues overall. He gives up a .490 slugging to lefties with a 62.5% fly ball rate. Lots of fly balls given up, and then when you're breaking down his repertoire as far as what he goes to against left-handed hitting, really reliant on the fastball changeup combination. He goes to the fastball 47% of the time and the changeup 37% of the time, and Vogelbach crushes both of those pitches. On average, you're looking at about a 90 to 91 mile-an-hour fastball, and against that pitch, Vogelbach features a .217 ISO with a .383 WOBA. And then as far as the change is concerned, when he breaks that out, Vogelbach can crush as well. A .264 ISO with a .359 WOBA. Lower in this Milwaukee order, I don't think he's going to get nearly as much ownership as some of these other bats, and I like him tonight. So get him in your lineups because he is my home run call of the day. So there you have it, guys. Daniel Vogelbach, get him in your lineups, and that is all from me in this one. If you did enjoy the content, if you could please take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. That would be greatly appreciated. Wish you guys all the best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.